Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late February, early March 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Capricorns. Let's shuffle it up here. Talk to me, my guides. And I hope you're all doing fantastic and fabulous. Let's see what's up though. And yeah, we're going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get this first card going. What's up with Cappy, please? What we got for my friends? Okay, the deck is being specific now. Usually this first card pops out real quick, so I guess Spirit wants to show you something. Okay, thank you. So there is something here in regards to your energetic connections big time with this card, okay? Whether it's relationships or other things, whatever you give energy towards or something that might give energy to you is under the spotlight here. So let's just place that there for a minute. We'll dive deeper on that. Before we do though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But into the reading, enough of the promo, have a look at this card. It does show up from time to time for different signs. You see the imagery there. We have this man, we have this woman. It looks like the woman's coming out of a mirror. So this could obviously speak about someone you care about that might be separated from you, either by distance, physically, either spiritually and physically. It all really depends. But when I see this card, I think of all that we are connected to energetically. Okay, and I personally believe that when we form bonds and form relationships with people, there's an energetic exchange there. Same goes for items that we hold value to or certain places. So Spirit could be wanting you to really analyze like who and what you're connected to energetically, okay? And really analyze that, truthfully, honestly. So we're going to put that down there. As I always say, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But let's get into tarot. I'm going to get you 3 in the upright before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff flowing. So let's shuffle it up one time. What do we got for Capricorn, please? So, last week's reading, pretty interesting. Simply titled, They Are Mad. So it was someone definitely in their feelings about something. Hopefully you haven't been upset by anything, but there could have been somebody who was a little grumpy, right? But the week before that, we had a very positive reading about different victories and wins. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As I always say, that energy is very fluid. It's always flowing. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your energy or somebody you're connected to. Let's get these 3 cards out, though. What do we got for Capricorn, please? I mean, you know all those if you watch tarot, right? It's all very personal. But we have the Hanged Man in position number 1. Interesting that we're starting at a stop with something. Okay, whether it's somebody in a waiting pattern, holding pattern, analyzing, that could be a big thing with the Hanged Man. Let's get 2 more. What do we got for Capricorn? Oh, thank you. Okay, so something could either like restart or start very suddenly. And I don't want to get too intuitive just yet, but we have the Ace of Wands right after the Hanged Man. These are 2 totally opposite types of energies. Okay, let's get one more. We'll really start to build this picture. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups, Capricorn. This is going to be an interesting one. This could be a very positive omen here. But let's not get too carried away just yet. There's a lot of reading left to go. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get the juicy, intuitive stuff flowing. But at first glance, when we look down at this spread, it's an interesting flow of energy because we start with some inaction into like a burst of action with a happy ending. So this looks good. It's a mixture of elements, so nothing's standing out in that realm just yet. But position number 1, we have the Hanged Man. I see this as Scorpio energy whenever it shows up. Some people even link it to Virgo, but the Hanged Man is a card of stillness. Whether you're putting a stop to something, you might be in a holding pattern, you might be waiting. You see this person, they're upside down. It's not like torturous, it's not a terrible energy. There could be certain things you're putting a stop to. But I always say with this card, it could be analysis. So you might have somebody or something under your microscope, or you could be under somebody else's when the Hanged Man shows up. It is also a card of self-sacrifice, taking one for the team, worrying about the happiness of others as opposed to yourself. So there's a lot of archetypes tied into this Hanged Man that we want to explore. But as far as action goes, it is very, very still. Now, the same cannot be said for the very next card. We have the Ace of Wands right next to it. All aces are opportunities. I say it every time one pops out. This is a card of energy. This is a card of passion, drive, determination. I also say it's a card of libido. So for some of you, you might be a little more wound tight than you normally are when the Ace of Wands shows up. It could be a card of attraction as well. So you might be very appealing to others in this time when the Ace of Wands is here. But think of a burst of energy. So we're starting with like slow or no movement at all with the Hanged Man into like this burst, like this explosive action and movement. So it's almost tower-like to me, I'll say that, but not in a bad way. Now moving to the very back end, and we'll get more detail on all this as we move along, but right there on the back, we have the Ten of Cups, one of the best cards in the whole entire tarot deck. Love seeing it. So this is a card of the prototypical happy ending, right? Getting all that you want, all that you need. This is a big card of wish fulfillment, happy endings. It's a beautiful energy of happiness and contentment. This can also represent the home, like your literal home. So some of you might be looking at where you currently live, where you might want to live. This could also represent family. So we have a lot of different archetypes showing up here. Some of you might be called to in this time to really help someone very close to you out as well. I'm seeing that especially with the Hanged Man, the Ace of Wands, like you might be called to action to lend some assistance to somebody you care about. Let's not dive too much into that. We're going to go in and clarify right now, get the juicier stuff. Let's do it. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Capricorns, please. The energy is looking interesting, my friends. What's going on, my guys? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Hanged Man. See if this sudden burst of energy continues. And if you're a tarot reader yourself or you're just trying to learn, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any energies that you want to give to Capricorn or messages, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. Be my guest. Okay, Hanged Man. What's it doing here for my Capricorns? Thank you. Yeah, Four of Pentacles in reverse. So we are getting this this sudden change or this sudden movement of action, like going from stop to start or like going from 0 to 100. I'm picking that up heavily here. So the Four of Pentacles is usually a card that is very closed down, holding on to something. Okay, some of you, and this is just like a quick intuitive message. A lot of you might be saving up for some sort of big purchase, possibly. When I see this under the Hanged Man, like looking at the details, seeing if it makes sense financially. But if we're talking personal relationships, there could be massive changes, big changes on the horizon where things suddenly take a turn, whether things are very stable now and then there's a little mayhem, or whether there's mayhem right now and things start to calm down. I'm seeing big change here because this is a cyclical spread if we look how it moves, because we have an ace, which is a 1, we have a 10, which is an ending. So we're seeing this interesting cycle. And I do feel like for a lot of you could be a heavy time of change or things opening up, which is good. But this action is almost jarring. It's almost shocking in a way when I have this energy flowing. Okay, when we go from Hanged Man to Ace of Wands to Four of Pentacles in reverse, it's like things were calm, things were peaceful or predictable, and then suddenly they weren't. So the change is here. We're going to move in on the Ace of Wands. Let's get more detail. Very interesting. So for a portion of you, like there could be a lot of things in flux right now. Okay, whether it is work, family, or interpersonal relationships. So why is this Ace of Wands here? Not all change is bad. Sometimes change can be difficult, but it doesn't mean it's bad. Wow, yeah, a lot of you could have some really good news coming in here with the Page of Cups and the upright underneath this Ace of Wands. Okay. And like I said, it has this explosive or jarring type of energy to it still, where it could be unexpected or surprising, absolutely. But for some of you, I feel like this is really exciting news. Okay. Something that's out of the norm. So whether this is something that's just happened or something that is going to happen, this Page of Cups under the Ace of Wands, it's like, all right, here, Spirit's putting something on a silver platter for you. This feels really good, Capricorn. So you might be receiving some really exciting news here with this Page of Cups. This guy could also represent emotional offers. This is a card of romance as well, a card of talking and communicating. So I really like this. If you're not connected to a water sign, of course, because the Page of Cups could represent someone that's younger than you, even children sometimes. So let's go in on that 10 of Cups. We'll see how the rest of this plays out. The energy is looking good, even though there's like a lot of change. Something out of the norm, some sort of conversation or some sort of news that is not the regularly scheduled programming could be coming in for a lot of Capricorns. And it feels okay to me. Let's go in on that 10 of Cups. What is that 10 of Cups? Then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. Yeah, this is good. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, for some of you, yeah, watch out for a little upheaval in the workspace or things in regards to money, investments, and stuff like that with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. But when I see this card in reverse, it is something that you don't have to work too hard for. So when I see it under the 10 of Cups with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, okay, this is coming towards you, and you're not going to have to toil for it. You're not going to have to struggle for it. This back end feels like true happiness. It's magnetic that something really good is coming towards you. So I would claim these energies specifically on the back end, because the 8 of Pentacles in reverse isn't always somebody giving up. Now, for a very, very small portion of you, yes, there might be a goal or something you've been wanting to do or aspire to that you're having second guessing, or you might be doubting if you could truly attain that. I'm not picking that up here on the back end, though. Okay, that might be a fleeting thought in some of your heads, but the 8 of Pentacles in reverse under the 10 of Cups feels beautiful. There's something really amazing and magnetic coming towards you, and it could be tied into this conversation or this news, especially if you've been waiting around for it, because with the Hanged Man there, we're going to talk about, let's do a quick recap here, Capricorn, because I would say the energetic forecast is looking luscious here, but if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we do have the Hanged Man. Like I said, it seemed like somebody in a waiting pattern, a holding pattern, watch and see. But emanating from this Hanged Man is heavy action, movement, and change. Like I said, you could be going through massive changes right now. Upheavals. And upheavals aren't always bad, but it feels very sudden, 0 to 100. So a lot of flux here. Moving over, we do have the Ace of Wands with the Page of Cups in the upright. This to me felt like some really good or exciting news coming in for you, whether it's an opportunity, a work thing, a relationship thing. There could be some sort of conversation that changes the game, or just exciting news. To me, it felt like something out of the ordinary, something that isn't like the regularly scheduled stuff you go through week to week. Moving to the back end, we have the 10 of Cups with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This did make me feel pretty good. Like I said, it's a happy ending that you don't have to toil for, that you don't have to fight for, that yes, you're going to have to put effort in, but it's something that comes naturally and easily. This is almost like a magnetic feeling on the back end. But for a portion of you, you might have second guessing or little doubts here and there about certain goals and aspirations. But overall, this energy is very claimable. That it's just beautiful energy moving towards the Capricorns. So please take a screenshot of that. I'm going to get you one shadow card here just to see what's in the shadows. Let's go. And shuffle it up one time, my gods. What's in the shadows for Capricorn, please? I always like to end off every reading with a shadow card. I think it's a nice little introspective piece that we could do just to wind down. So what is in the shadows for my friends? And it's the Shadowland Tarot. This is probably my favorite shadow work deck. Okay, so here's that tower energy I was speaking about here. And remember, very early on in the reading, I said this jarring energy is tower-like to me. We do have a tower in the shadows. Nothing to be too concerned about. I don't feel like this is a major warning. For a portion of you, this could be a shakeup that has already happened. A tower moment that may have affected you. And towers are just upheavals. So a portion of you, there could be a tower that is still lingering in your energy, in your mind, in your space. And that's okay. But it could also be spirit saying, hey, how adaptable you are to change, sudden change or slow change, whatever it might be. They might want you to look at that. Like, okay, are you adaptable to change, or do you not accept it? Do you try to fight change with tooth and nail? Possibly. All right, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but like I said, it could be either a tower that's still in your energy that you haven't fully healed from that you can take a look at, or spirit just saying like, hey, how you respond to change, speed bumps and the like needs to be looked at for some reason, okay? I don't feel like this is a warning in the back end, which is good. But yeah, Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the January subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's Fire and Air readings. But for February, I've decided to run it back. Once again, we're doing 2 copies of the most adorable deck in all the land, the Smith Tiny Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments which card from this week's reading you thought was most adorable. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of February, the winners will be in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.